Hey friends, it's Cybill Sixpence. Today we are building a fall house tucked into the dark forest biome, complete with a small garden out front. I'm using the Mizuno 16 Craft texture pack for this one. It gives it such a detailed storybook feel. I'll walk you through the blocks I picked and how I use them together so that you can build along or make it your own. So settle in, grab your blocks, and let's get started. Here's your materials list. Find you a place. Come with me, let's see how this goes. Okay, so starting out, this is your floor plan. It isn't actually what you see at the very beginning. I do make some changes, but this is the plan that I do end up with. I don't build with a plan in mind. I usually just let the house kind of build itself, and I know it's done when I step back and I say, yes, this is the way that I want this house to look. So starting out, I am using the mushroom stem block. I am going up 6 high, but I'm going to be removing the bottom 2 layers and replacing those with a mixture of the granite blocks, the polished granite blocks, and the slabs to give it that texture that's not a rhythmic pattern all the way through, and it just adds character to the house. This will be the foundation, and then I'm going to go in and at the top layer of the 2 granite rows I'm going to add a layer of acacia planks. Because of the Mizuno Craft 16 texture pack that I'm using here, the acacia strip logs gives it a more pumpkin-y look instead of this bright ugly orange. My opinion, you may love it, forgive me. And then the front porch I am using spruce slabs. I just really think that the pumpkin color and the mushroom stem and the spruce is a really nice color combination. Makes me think of fall, makes me think of coffee. And so to tie in the foundation that I have to the tower that I'm building here, I'm just going to bring up all of those different granite combinations. And here's where I realized I have made my counting mistake. So I do typically work in odd numbers, and apparently somewhere I have miscounted. It's going to take me a minute to figure it out, but when I do, I'm going to fix those walls and we'll be right back on track. In the meantime, I have included a little tutorial inside of the tutorial to show you how to shape the roof that I'm making. Just in case you want to do it my way, you are more than welcome to do it your own way. So I start out with a slab, and then I go stair, 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 with an underside of stairs, and then a block stair, twice, and then 2 more rows of stairs, followed by a slab, and top it off with a block. I figured slowing this down a little bit might help those that still ask questions about how to shape a roof, but you are more than welcome to do it your way. I know there are some fabulous roof makers out there. I'm not trying to compare myself to anybody. It's just that this is what I have. Maybe you want more on that. The same thing here on this second half of the roof, just a couple of layers shorter. I really do love the way that this texture pack has the compost, and I actually prefer it over the spruce planks, so you will see me use this in a lot of builds. And with that, in the roof area, I'm going to be using stripped spruce, whole logs all the way across to give it that more cabiny feel that I think looks really nice with cabins and cottages that I have been making. And so same thing with this gable part of the house, and then I'm going to try to line those middle pieces up so that it peaks at the top of the most highest part of the house. So while I am using stripped spruce logs, I am also using a combination of planks and stairs and slabs in the dark oak. The topmost part of the roof is just basically slab, plank, slab, plank, slab, plank. And just as before, I've kind of slowed down a little bit my roofing that I'm creating here for my tower so that you can kind of get a better idea if you wanted to do yours exactly like mine. Of course, you are welcome to build whatever roof that you see fit. So basically, I'm starting out with a slab just to do the arch trimming, and each time I'm going up with a plank 2 high before adding some stairs to create the arch, and then just echoing that same thing behind it. In the middle, I'm just inserting a gravel wall, and the texture pack that I have makes it look a little different. And for that especially peaked roof, there is an acacia fence right there on top. A little mangrove trimming just on the inside of these little gables with stair, block, all the way up. And same thing for the inside, stair, block, stair, and then block it at the top. And really all you're doing is just mirroring the roofing trim that you've already put into the house, just adding them one level lower. The window spacing that I'm using is going to be based on how wide the wall is that I am doing. Also keeping in mind that this is a mushroom stem, and so every time I break that block, it actually has another type of texture. That might be useful if you wanted to do like a indoor-outdoor kind of look, so that it looks different on the inside than on the outside, but I particularly don't want it, at least not in this house. So I am making sure that I am breaking more than just what I need for the window, and then replacing those blocks back so I got that nice even look all the way through the build. So as you can see already on the top floors, I'm also using the jungle trap door to decorate the outside windows with like a shutter look. I'm also putting a jungle trap door with an acacia gate so that it looks like a shutter is also being held up properly. And then I'm going in with some orange tinted glass panes, and I'm going to actually distribute that across the whole house. Something about the colored glass just makes me look like it's just a little warmer on the inside of the house. It's just a little optical illusion that I like a lot. Once I have the glass panes inside the windows, I'm just going to go around and put in those jungle trap doors and acacia fencing just like I did on the top floor, just adding that to the bottom. For the front porch area, I'm just using those jungle trap doors, kind of like a trellis on the side. We're going to hang some vines on it later, but also putting it across the top as a little bit of a roofing that allows sunlight to come in. So pretty much the same pattern that we did for our tower on the other side of the house, we're going to do this on this back end of the house. We're going to have a little chimney. It's using all kinds of different granites, the polished and the regular, and putting them in the slabs and putting them in stairs and mixing them up using that texture pack really well. Just on the inside of the chimney, there are 3 campfires. There's one on the first level, one on the second floor, and then one right there at the very top. Put a little hay bale underneath it and just make that smoke go really high. So for this little heightened garden box, it's basically just a compost with some podzol sitting on top of it, and I'm wrapping some spruce trap doors around it. You pick the flower that you want. I have chosen to pick a palette of orange colored flowers and yellow colored flowers, and then the sweet berry bush, which is a blueberry, on this texture pack to work in that feel of autumn and fall colors. And so this is completely optional as the house itself is done, but a small little food garden, and I've decided to include a little sunflower, a raised garden box. I used podzol a lot where I think maybe the pumpkins might land a little bit more, just a storytelling, I guess. But I just did pumpkins, which you can do a mix of pumpkins and melons. I put beets on one side and wheat on the other, and a second garden box with some sweet berries. And then it is time to replenish our forest that we cut down in order to build this. Just some reforestation just really helps the environment of the house and just really pulls it all together and brings it back to life. Now, I have made custom trees before. I chose not to do it this time. I'm just looking at the area around the house, and I'm just making sure that if it has some mushrooms, and I'm growing some mushrooms, it has some birch, it's got some birch, making sure I'm giving that full mix. Thanks for hanging out with me while I build this fall house in this dark forest. I had such a fun time shaping the garden and putting the details together, and I hope it gives you ideas for your own world. If you enjoyed this build, please give this video a like and subscribe. It really helps me keep creating and sharing more of these adventures with you. Until next time, stay curious, stay creative, and I'll see you in the next build. Bye-bye!